This is a brief video tutorial on how to use Smart Notebook software for distance learning. So Smart Notebook software is software that you use when you use a smartboard in your classroom. So the really great thing about that is that most of us already have Smart Notebooks software installed on our devices. And for those of you who don't have Smart Notebook software installed in your devices, it's really easy to get. You can simply go to support.smarttech.com/software/Smart Notebook. And I have version 19 of the Smart Notebook, but there are other versions you can download as well if version 19 is not compatible with your device. Smart Notebook software is really useful for a number of different reasons. It lets you include images that you can then later mark up as you're illustrating a concept for your students. And it lets you use different pen color options to mark up images. So you can use not only black, but also red, green, blue. There's a variety of different color markup options that you can use, which is useful if you want to draw students' attentions to different parts of a problem. And the other great feature is that you can also include videos from YouTube. So one of the things that I like to do with the Smart Notebook software is I like to always start with an image for my students that I can use to illustrate and refer to. And it's as easy as saving an image to your desktop and dragging and dropping it to the Smart Notebook software. I can also make this image larger or smaller for students. And then, like I said, with the pens, it gives me different markup options. I can draw right on my image, for example, do a number 1, and point to the sun. And I can also use the text tool to type on my image as well. So I can type origin so that my students know that the sun is the origin of energy. So that's a really useful tool. Like I said earlier, you can do different colors with the pen tool. So maybe step 2, I wanted it to be in red. To differentiate it from step 1, you can do that as well. So another really great use for this color coding and for the text and markup tools are when you're doing math. So you might have this math equation, for example, and so you could approach this in two different ways. You could, as you're talking through, mark up for students using the pen tool if you wanted. So I could do a -7, -7, choose to do black, and then have -4 x is equal to 8. Do that. If I don't like having to draw it out with the pen tool, I can use the text tool and type it out for students instead. -4x is equal to 8. And it's really useful to show students the process of doing a math equation. On our Smart Notebook software, it's also really easy to add and delete pages. I simply go up to the Add Page button to add a page, and later on I can delete it by clicking Delete Page. But while we have this brand new page, I'll show you the other great thing that you can do on the Smart Notebook software, which is that you can include YouTube videos. So if you click on the little jigsaw piece, you click on Search, you can then use the search bar to search for any video that you want to include to show students. So for example, I search for a video on the Civil War. I might pick this one, click Add Video, and then the video will pop up right on your slide. You can move it to wherever you want on your page. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and when you're ready, you can click on it and it will play for students.
This video was made possible by NordVPN.
All right, we won't watch it now, but just want to show you that that is an option. And then, of course, if I wanted to delete this page, I could just delete it with the delete page option right here. Another great use is that you can use this as a starting point for your slides, or use this instead of the slides that you might have created. So when you're recording for students, for example, I created this slide right on the Smart Notebook software. And so if I'm doing an audio lesson for students, I can go straight to the slide and read it aloud while recording on Loom or some other screen recording software for students. And when I'm ready, I can go to my next slide simply by clicking on it for students and then moving them to it. And because I still have the other tools like the markup options, I can use that as I'm reading my slide to mark up my slide for students so I can draw their attention to different ideas and concepts. And this is really useful because this markup option in which you record is not something that you can do on software like Google Slides. So that's it, just a brief video tutorial on how you can use Smart Notebook software for distance learning.